What's going on, gurus? My name is Nick, and I am back here today to discuss importing and exporting settings from your development environment over to your production environment. Now, of course, we have the old method of doing it. That is this extract settings method. This is the way you can do it if you are just trying to export everything all at once. But oftentimes, when we have a development environment, we actually are not going to want to pull all of those resources over because of the fact that some things are not going to be ready to be pushed into production. So, when you look at the export settings here, you can see that we just have the ability to say, give me all of the rules, scripts, destinations, functions, workflows, playbooks. You don't get to pick which ones. Same with phases and tasks. You're just asking for all of the phases and tasks. You don't have the ability to customize that. So we have another way to do this. Let's go ahead and dive into that. All right. So on my left, I have my SOAR instance. And on my right, I have my virtual environment that I created specifically for this demo. Now, this is going to be using the Resilient SDK module. And specifically, what I want to look at within the Resilient SDK module is actually the extract feature right here. This is going to give me a res output file, which is actually going to allow me to specify exactly what I want to pull out of the system or extract. Now, of course, there's lots of other things that we can do in here. And of course, the Resilient SDK module is actually how we are going to build our integrations and package those up and get those ready for production. But today we are just going to be talking about the extract module. So let's go ahead and do a quick help on the extract module. All right, so here you can see that we have several options that we can do, but this is actually going to be very similar to creating a integration where we actually get to call each individual thing that we want to be part of that integration. So the way that we're going to do this is once we get things built on the inside over here, we can actually use Resilient SDK extract to extract exactly what we want. And the way that we can do things like that is such as exporting the playbooks. On the left-hand side, I've got a bunch of different playbooks here. So if I wanted to do an extract, I can do we're going to go ahead and grab the API name. This is what we're going to need to actually do the extract of a playbook. Now, most things are going to have an API name. There are a couple things that aren't. Specifically, rules and scripts, I believe, are the two things that do not have an API name. What you're going to do for those is you will actually just put those in quotes. And we will touch on that in just a little bit. Once I do my extract here, I can add a playbook here, and then I can go ahead and let's grab one other one. We're just going to go ahead and space separate each of those. Then after we do that, we can go ahead and apply a couple things if we want to customize the name of the file that we're going to extract, as well as where we want to extract to. These two things we're going to focus on will be the -n, which is going to give us a prepend to the name that it generates. So we can do something like demo extract. And then, of course, the name of where we want to actually output this to, which is going to be the file location. We will actually export this here to the extracts folder that I created specifically in this folder structure I'm using here. All right, let's go ahead and run this and see what we get. All right, so that completed. So let's go ahead and take a look at the folder now. All right, so here I've got my folder structure. You can see that I've got my virtual environment built out here. My app config is set up here, and ultimately we're going to use that extracts. Here you can see I created the name for demo extract. You can see it's in that extract folder that I selected there. And then this is going to be that .res file. Now it is important to note that this is a .res file that we're going to be extracting here. So what we're actually going to be doing is This is not going to go into the Playbooks import module. This is going to go in the migration tool import. So the way that we would actually import this is by going to SOAR. And then what we're going to do is, instead of clicking this import playbook here, what we're actually going to do is we're going to go to the administrator settings, where we're going to go to organization, migrate settings, and then import. Here we'll be able to import that setting and just grab that file and import that in, and then we'll just get the specific playbooks that I requested there. But this works for more than just playbooks. Let's see what else we can export. All right, over here in my customization settings, what we actually have is the ability to export any of these rules. You can see here in my help menu that I have lots of different things that I can export. So I can jump into my layouts and create a field and export that field. So the way we would do that is by doing a -FD. That's going to give me a field. And then I can add as many fields as I want to just by selecting one of my fields here, by hitting that little pencil marker over here and grabbing the API name. Now, this one I'm going to want to grab something that I've customized. So let's go ahead and scroll down. Here we go. We've got some CrowdStrike ones. Those came with an integration. So I can go ahead and grab the API name, add that over here, and now I'm going to extract that field. You can grab one other one where I'll grab this. Again, grab that API name, post that in here, and now I've got two different fields that I'm going to be extracting as part of this. Next thing I can do is do a rule with a -R. We can jump over into our rules. Now, when it comes to the rules, if I have a specific rule that I want to grab, you can see that there's no API name listed at all in here. So the way we would actually do this, like I mentioned earlier, we will do it in quotes, and then I'll go ahead and grab the name and we'll paste it in quotes. And again, for multiple rules, we'll just go ahead and space separate this. So I can then turn around and grab this one as well. Now that I've got a couple of rules, now let's go ahead and grab a script. Scripts are going to be the same way as the rules, where the rules, as you can see, or the scripts, as you can see, do not have an API name. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to do a -S for script. We're going to grab the full name here, do a copy and paste, and then over here, we'll go ahead and put that in quotes. We'll just grab one script here, but the next thing we can do is go ahead and grab a task as well. Let's grab a workflow first. Keep going in order here. So I've got a workflow here. I can go ahead and grab one of these workflows. Again, grab that API name. And since it's an API name, we can just go ahead and do a -W for workflow. And then we'll do a space and paste that name in there. Because of the fact that we're grabbing a workflow, let's make sure that we go ahead and grab the function reference down here. So we're going to look for this QRadar reference table add item. All right, here we go. We've gone ahead and found that function. We'll go ahead and copy, and we will add the function by doing a -F this time and adding that function in here. Next thing we can do is we can actually extract the message destination. Now, keep in mind, if you're extracting a message destination, you can go ahead and extract that the same way just by doing that -M. However, if you're extracting a function, it requires that message destination be in there. So we don't actually have to extract that. The tool will automatically extract that for us. From here, if we wanted to go grab a phase or task, we can jump in here, we grab the task that we're specifically looking for, and then it's going to grab that phase for us. Again, this is going to be one where we can go ahead and click the pen over here, or the pencil, and we're going to go ahead and grab the full name of this one as well. I will also mention as we're going through here too, if you do have any problems, make sure that these are double quotes that you're putting these in, as a single quote will not work. Of course, we have our incident types. So if we wanted to extract an incident type, we could do that as well. And we've got lots of things over here. We could make this a massive thing. We could extract lots of things. We could extract just a couple of things, but this really allows us to select the exact things that we want to extract and bring over from our dev environment over into our production environment. Once we get this all typed out down here, then of course we're going to want to add that name and then the output. Once we get all that selected, we can go ahead and run it. Oop, looks like I made an error here. Don't need name, or I could do dash dash name or just dash n, but I did a dash name instead. So we'll correct this real quick and run this again. All right, looks like we hit another error. Let's take a look and see what that error says. All right, so it looks like the error is saying that the initial triage is not available, but it gives me a list of all of the available tasks that I can take a look through. If we go down to the eyes, we'll see if we can find initial triage. There we go. We found initial triage right there. So it looks like the tasks actually do have an API name. They're just not displayed. So we get a sample here of what that should look like. It looks like we convert that name to all lowercase, and also we add a underscore where there is any spaces. So let's go ahead and correct that and finish this export. All right, and with the quotes removed and the actual API name in there, we'll go ahead and rerun this. All right, and with that successfully extracted, let's go ahead and take a look at that folder again. All right, and here we are again. We can see that we have that extract here, and we can see that we were able to extract all of that stuff that we put in this reference set here. Now, it is important to note that while you export playbooks, oftentimes you will get the app included with the export. That is not going to happen with these exports. You will have to have the app installed before you bring this migration over. So if we were exporting from from our dev environment and we were bringing that over to our new environment, we would just want to verify that the app is installed first, that it's installed with the version that we did all of our testing and development with. And then what we're going to do is go ahead and do that import in that migrate settings that's located in the admin settings. All right, I wanted to touch on this as I've been getting a lot of questions lately about how to extract stuff from my dev environment and bring it into my production environment, and what is the best method for doing that. So this is the way that I would recommend doing that so that you get exactly what you want. You don't have to worry about anything that anybody else is working on getting brought over as well. You can develop this, you can pull over exactly what you developed specifically for your needs and bring that on over. Now, the caveat is, of course, you can't extract things like the specific layouts or the specific groups and other admin settings that you may have developed. For that, you're going to have to go ahead and just do an extract specifically of just those admin settings. But with that being said, now that I've shown you how to create an extract from your development environment and bring that over to your production environment, hopefully you'll have a much easier time when it comes to moving those settings that you've been developing on over to your new environments. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please give me a thumbs up down below. If it was not, give me a thumbs down. Tell me in the comments what I could do better, if you've got any recommendations for videos, and we'll try to get those out to make sure that we're producing content that ultimately you guys are looking for. So with that being said, I hope to see you gurus next time. Thanks.